Hello my lovelies, I hope you've had a fabulous week. Today I'm sharing with you my ultimate reality defying Christmas wish list. So the first thing on my Christmas wish list, which is definitely reality defying, will be a time machine. Not a TARDIS, not a DeLorean, specifically the time machine from the 1960 film version of H.G. Wells's book. There are a couple of places that I would like to go in my time machine, and the first one would be the late 60s, nearer 1970s, and I would like to go to the Big Bieber store and have a good old look around and maybe purchase myself some Bieber keepsakes. And whilst I'm shopping in 1960s London, I would also like to check out some Aussie Clark to hold on to and enjoy. And while I'm having some Christmas fun in 1960s London, I would like to go and see the Rolling Stones play. I would specifically like to see them play on Eel Pie Island in the 60s, and because I've got a time machine, it doesn't matter if they played in the late 60s or early 60s because I just get in my time machine and go there. Another place that I'd like to venture, seeing as I'm enjoying my wish of having a Christmas time machine, would be to visit a fabric warehouse of some kind in the late 30s so that I can pick myself up some beautiful fabrics to make some beautiful clothes here in the 21st, 22nd, 23rd century, wherever I happen to be. You know, time is wibbly wobbly and does timey-wimey stuff, as Doctor Who so eloquently stated. Whilst we're in the 1930s / early 1940s, I would love to be a fly on the wall, not literally, because in Hedy Lamarr's wardrobe, I would absolutely love to have a rootle tootle around really any of the Hollywood silver screen actresses' wardrobes, but Hedy Lamarr is my favourite. She is my muse and inspiration, so I'd love to see hers. But Marilyn Monroe's would be a great one as well because she had wonderful everyday style. Seeing as Christmas is a time of magic, I have also added a Mercedes Gullwing to my Christmas wish list, specifically the same model, exactly the same one as the one gifted to Sophia Loren in the 1950s. I would really love to have a really good look around the Liberty London fabric archives to see all the beautiful fabric designs that they have. That would be a really special experience. And while I'm in the archive, I would like to select a few of their old prints that they would print up on their Tana lawn or poplin or velvet or silk or wool, especially just for me. And a more realistic version of this would be to be able to spend a little bit of time and money in the beautiful Liberty London store, which they're renovating at the moment and it's looking amazing, and just be able to buy myself a dress quantity of one of their beautiful prints. And I've had my eye on this one in their current collection. I think it's really pretty and would make a lovely Greta blouse or dress. I also really love the classic Betsy print, which is this one, which I would also like to make a Greta blouse or dress with. But actually in the new year I have a new dress pattern coming, and either of these prints would look really beautiful in that. So that is definitely on my Christmas wish list, and don't really need a time machine for that one, just need a few pennies. Staying with the Liberty of London theme, and also a very realistic gift, and one that I already have but want to share, is a Liberty London sewing box. This one is one of their iconic prints. I think it might be Ianthe or something like that. I bought it in a sale a couple of years ago. and it's got all my sewing bits in it. I absolutely love it. And if I didn't already have one, this would be very much on my Christmas list. And it's a beautiful gift to give someone because it's a timeless forever piece. Something that I would really love to do on a crafty theme would be to learn how to make shoes. I really love 1940s style shoes, and I'd love to be able to replicate a pair. So I would dearly love to have the I Can Make Shoes starter kit, which you can buy, and you get a book about all the things you need to know on how to make your own shoes. And you also get the starter kit with the last, and you select your size and the heel height that you want your shoes to be. And that's something that I would love to do next year. A couple of sewing items that I already have, but if I didn't, would definitely be on my Christmas wish list. The first thing is this little Merchant and Mills corner turner, bamboo corner turner. I never imagined that something like this would be so useful, but it's absolutely brilliant. It's only a few pounds and it would fit very neatly into one stocking. And another thing that I really love and would like to find in my stocking, if I hadn't already bought these, they're by Foxglove and Field. They come in this lovely little, pretty little box, and they are pattern weights. So they look like this. They've got Liberty London prints on them, Tana Lawn on them, and they look like little vintage cotton reels. So for any of your lovely sewing friends, a box of these would be a lovely and much appreciated treasure, and they're incredibly useful and usable as well. I am an incredible lover of books, and I think that a gift of a book is an incredibly thoughtful one, and there are a few that are on my list. The first is the Lee Miller Vogue Years book that accompanies an exhibition that is on, actually not that far away from me, but I'm not 100% sure where it is. But the book is beautiful. It's full of her photos and they are just stunning. The next up is this book, the Wallpaper book. Any of you who know me really well know my love of the colour Arsenic by Farrow and Ball. And this book is all about Victorian and antique wallpapers and ones that potentially have arsenic in them. It's a really beautifully laid out book, and I would absolutely love to find this under my Christmas tree. I would really love to read Justine Picardie's new book about Christian Dior's sister called Miss Dior. She's a really fascinating character and was a huge inspiration to him, and Dior is probably my favourite couture house. I love all the beautiful embellishments that they do and the incredible fabrics that they use. So it would be really interesting to read this book and just gain more of an insight, and I'm sure there will be some lovely photos in it as well to enjoy. Some other books that I would like to find under my Christmas tree. In fact, if money was no object to somebody, the entire catalogue minus the few books that I've got would be any of the books in the Persephone, from the Persephone printing house. They focus on female authors from around the 1900s to the 1950s. So they will be sort of unknown or obscure, or were once very famous but now aren't really published. All the books come in this beautiful style, and then they all have really gorgeous end papers from vintage fabrics. And this one, The Priory by Dorothy Whipple, is really, really good. And I have a few others as well. This is number 40, but do check them out. If you like things like Nancy Mitford and those sort of 1920s, 30s female authors, then these ones are few. And how gorgeous would they all look on a really beautiful bookshelf, all lined up. Dreamy, dreamy. So whilst I am diving into all these beautiful books that I wish to receive this festive season, I will be munching on my favourite chocolates, which are Prestat Rose and Violet creams. They've actually not got rose and violet creams in them. They've got inks in them for fountain pens. But I had this as a gift a few years ago, kept the box because it's so pretty, and those rose and violet creams are absolutely divine. Last but by no means least on my reality defying Christmas wish list, I would very much like a pet puka. Now, if you don't know what a puka is, it's a mystical being that usually inhabits the form of an animal. In the case of one of my favourite films of all time, Harvey, he's a giant rabbit that keeps Jimmy Stewart company on his adventures. So he makes magic happen, he's a little bit mischievous, and I think life would be complete if I had myself a pet puka. I hope you've enjoyed my reality defying and also a little bit practical Christmas wish list. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you are keeping safe and well, and that your festive season is full of love and joy, and that whatever it is that you wish for, you receive it in one form or another. I really appreciate you taking the time to spend the time with me. Wherever you are in the world, my lovelies, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.